Well, guys, ever since George Floyd in 2020, radical leftists have been pushing to defund the police. And in some cases, guys, some liberal-run cities actually defunded their police only to refund their police because when the police aren't really on the streets, crime gets out of control. I believe Minneapolis actually defunded their police. That was actually ground zero for George Floyd. They refunded. San Francisco turned into a hellhole. Crime out of control. And as of right now in 2023, it is still out of control. I believe that San Francisco had to rush back and refund their police, but still, they don't actually prosecute crime out there. So that actually takes us to Seattle. Seattle, Washington, guys. That is ground zero for the Chaz Chop Zone. Remember that, guys? Back in 2020, where far left radicals actually took over a police precinct, and a couple of people actually got killed inside that Chaz Chop Zone. Remember, it was supposed to be the summer of love, and the police were not allowed to go into their own precinct, and crime was just running amok. I believe right now, guys, where the Chaz Chop Zone used to be, it still looks like a disaster. I mean, me and Rhodes were live yesterday talking about Donald Trump getting arrested, but also we were talking about some other things as well. And we actually talked about the difference between the Democrat politician versus the Democrat voter. And I was making the case that, there's a lot of Democrat voters that really aren't down with some of the stuff that the Democrat politicians actually pushing. For one thing, also, the Democrat voter usually is not in the know about what the Democrat politician is actually pushing. They just vote blue no matter who. But in some cases, guys, some of these cities are just so radically left that they're going to go along with anything. And Seattle is one of the most radical cities out there, along with Portland and some other ones also like San Francisco. Well, the radical left has been pushing to have social workers respond to 911 calls. In Seattle, they are going all in on this now because apparently this has been in the works for a while, and now they are actually about to do it, guys. They are actually about to have social workers respond to 911 calls. This is just outrageous right here, guys. Why in the world would you have a social worker, unarmed, by the way? So the criminals, this is a win for them. It is a win for criminals because they know that a social worker may actually be coming and not a police officer. We got a clip here too, guys, because this woke city councilwoman actually said that the police are going to be in the know, but they actively won't be engaging in handling the situation. Yeah, this is going to be a disaster, guys. And even the fire department as well. If somebody's actually calling for the fire department, there's probably going to be a fire. What good is a social worker going to do? But this woke city councilwoman, man, she is super excited, man. She's going to get people killed. Here we go. Let's read this on the Post Millennial. Unarmed social workers hired to respond to 911 calls in Seattle. This is what happens, man, when you want to defund your police. This is going to backfire big time right here. It says here, social workers could soon be responding to 911 calls in Seattle instead of police officers, thanks to efforts of the anti-cop Seattle City Council. Council member Lisa Herbold, they misspelled her name there, who led the effort to defund the city's police department in 2020, said during an interview on Friday that the city is beginning to hire 6 unarmed crisis responders instead of police officers for emergency calls through a new 911 dual dispatch alternate crisis response pilot program for an alternate response team. And we got the video, guys. We got the video here. Earlier this month, the program received $1.6 million as part of the mid-year supplemental budget. They wasted $1.6 million on this thing. My goodness. And boy, she is pretty giddy right here when you actually watch the video right here. Let's go ahead and roll this, guys. Here we go.
Well, usually I'm complaining about how delayed we are and how frustrated I am that we're not meeting our benchmarks for developing this program. But today I'm really, really happy to report that the city is hiring for the 6 positions for its first pilot alternate response team. It's going to be a way for 911 operators to dispatch calls to somebody other than police, somebody other than fire, a crisis responder who is unarmed. The police department will be aware of the dispatch. They may attend, they may stage nearby, or they just may have situational awareness. Each call is going to be different, but it's really exciting that we're finally up and running with hiring the folks who will be doing this really important work that we have been working on since, I think, August of 2020.
It has been a long process, and I know Councilmember Lewis has been working on this as well. That's Councilmember Lisa Herbold, Councilmember Andrew Lewis. They're joining me on this new edition of Council Edition coming your way. We're discussing a new ordinance focused on fighting the fentanyl epidemic and a lot more. I'm Brian Callanan. Check out the full show.
Okay, guys, you heard that right there. You heard that. What I truly believe they want to do, I believe they truly want to abolish the police in Seattle. They really do. This program is going to get these people killed. Now, these so-called crisis responders, social workers, whatever you want to call them, if somebody is having, let's say, a mental breakdown and they have a gun, you cannot send an unarmed social worker. You need the police, man, because these people will be unpredictable. And in some cases, they may actually have a gun and pull the trigger. Do you want that unarmed person to get hurt, injured, or killed? I mean, Seattle is a dumpster fire of a city, but the people in Seattle, man, they vote for this stuff. Seattle is a very, very radically left city. They hate their police. Guys, I'm willing to bet, man, that anywhere else, let's say right here in Texas, if a radical group took over a police precinct, I don't believe there's any way in the world that the mayor would just say, hey, it's okay. Let them go ahead and do it. Let them take over. It's going to be a summer of love. I don't believe that would happen. That did happen in Seattle. And 2 people got killed. They got killed. Only after those 2 people got killed did Seattle actually go in. The police actually were allowed to go in and take over the Chaz Chop Zone. It took that. And in that Chaz and Chop Zone, there was actually people from the Chaz Chop Zone that were not letting people in. There's actually people that actually lived in the Chaz and Chop Zone. Some people weren't allowed to go into their homes because the criminal syndicate took over. The police were allowed to do nothing. Nothing. This is the way that radical left politics actually work, guys. People are going to get hurt. People in Seattle, your lives are going to be in more danger. It's just the way it is, man. If you allow this to happen, and it looks like it's actually going to happen, crime will not go down. It's not. Progressive politics, man, enables criminal behavior, i.e. Brandon Johnson, i.e. San Francisco. Your lives are not going to be safer. You guys got to wake up. You got to vote these people out, man. The people on the city council need to be voted out. It sounds like you actually need more police and not less police. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.